It is 4:44 in the morning and I took a shower and decided to record this video. That's how it goes. Hello everyone. A week passed, things being overwhelmed. And so I actually recorded one video yesterday. I'm speaking quietly because I have some people sleeping. And so I recorded the video yesterday night, the same time approximately, a little bit earlier. And so the title of that video is the same as this one. How do you come up with shit things? And I couldn't answer that question. It was just an open question that I wanted to raise and try to elaborate why I think why I don't have an answer. That's kind of it. And I was rambling for 30 minutes how I tried to come up with an idea for a short movie, for animated short movie. And so yeah, I've been getting inspired by Pixar and John Lasseter. We don't support things that he did to his employees, but he still did some good short films a while ago, and I was kind of trying to picture some idea in my head, and any idea I would come up with would be just an interpretation of what he did. And I really like the simplicity of the work, and it has a lot of charm. And as Toy Story 1, my favorite movie, I think is the best movie ever came out, because it has such a unique charm. There are good movies out there. There are great movies, animated ones. Other Toy Story parts are also amazing. But that one just stood out to me so much, and those first short films are also really nice. And I was kind of watching them, reading about them. I have a huge book out there. It's called To Infinity and Beyond, Pixar animated studio story. And I read another book, Creativity Inc. So I'm really inspired by all of these things. And I was trying to come up with a movie, and I couldn't. The idea that I eventually landed on was just a different version of Teen Toy. And I felt like, yeah, I I don't get discouraged. I just feel like, damn, that's so weird that I cannot come up with an idea. Like, ideas that I come up with are just so redundant, and they're like worse than a thing that happened like 40 years ago. And so, and after my 30 minutes ramble of me like, okay, this is the story that I have, it's pretty similar to Teen Toy, but that's what I have for now, and okay, let it be as is. And so I went to my bed, just did, I don't know, chill, watch something, read. That's how I spend my rest days right now. We had Christmas, we'll have New Year's Eve like everyone else, and so I did go to my bed and I just sat there. It's actually a couch here, and I came up with an idea. I was kind of like, okay, so there are toys, and what if I kind of modernize it somehow? And I came up with an idea. There is like a generative AI, uh, and there would be like a toy that has a soul, and then there would be another toy that would not have a soul, and there would be like a 3D printed toys, and it would be kind of like a um, basically the whole uh, notion of the movies that the AI generated things don't have soul, and so toys that were kind of AI generated, they don't have a soul, and there is a character that's the main character. He actually was designed, and he kind of gets created, and then he discovers it, and then he's like confused. Why is this toy not real, not moving? And he would kind of stumble upon the designs of himself, and then he would look at himself in the like a reflection somewhere, and he would like go, oh yeah, I love it, and then he would find the design of a friend that was supposed to be with him, and he would be like, okay, I'll go print out another friend, and that would be like a wrap up of the story. Of course, I didn't go in details how things go, but that's kind of like the idea. And then I sat there and I'm like, okay, I mean, I don't have a I'm not sure what the toy would be, but the story is kind of like, it's not as, my goal was that I want to tell something similar to what John did in his movies, where he's like taking a very simple kind of conflict or characters where everything is clear, and there's like a message, like a small but powerful message, or just human relationships. You kind of something that you can relate to. But here was a very specific one about AI and how AI doesn't have soul. It's very just I would say it's a hot topic, and that's the idea of the movie. And I'm like, okay, that's all right. And then I went to bed, and it was like already 7 in the morning, and I was trying to fall asleep, and yeah, it was not working out. I was coming up with some details, and then I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna be there. Oh yeah, that might be the character. I was not sure what the character would be actually. I was like, okay, maybe this character would be, maybe the whole thing would be set in 1984, when like the Macintosh was released. First computer with graphical interface, and so I was like, okay, yeah. And then I woke up today, and I'm like, oh shit. I kind of felt a little bit empty, because I was like, yeah, I came up with a story. Yeah, it's cool. Is that what I was supposed to feel? And I'm like, oh right, okay, and now I need to do it. And then I'm like, okay, maybe that today is not the day, and I don't feel like it. And I'm like, and I just did other things in life, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll get motivated and then do it, whatever. And I was just reading a book again, and I was thinking about some ideas, and then I was just watching a random video on YouTube, and yeah, and I came up with another story, and I came up with a story that is actually great. Mm, uh, I'm not sure. Do I want to tell you what it is about? Okay, I won't tell you a word. I'll just show you. That's what the story would be about. About the candle. I just saw a candle in the video and I was like, oh yeah, it will be a cool idea. And yeah, and I wrote down the whole thing, and then this story has two characters, very different. There's a clear conflict. There is a lot of cool action. There is a lot of gags, and eventually it turned out to be very like comedic short about two candles. So far, I feel like the biggest thing hurdle with this movie could be is a more of like a technical part, because I have just ideas and they may require some extra things, like I don't know, extra help, maybe extra learning, doing something. But so far it's just not a big deal, because I just came up with an idea and I might do it later on, you know. And so that's how it is, you know. Yesterday, I'm telling you, 6 hours ago, I made a video that was actually titled the same. It was supposed to be released, but it was just a lot of yapping about nothing, and I'm like, oh, that's just nothing. I'm not gonna push it. So, and I'm like, how you do come up with things? You just do. In my case, it's just I'm not saying like it's a formula or like I'm super successful by doing that. I feel like it's just I didn't take it very seriously yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, how do you do it? It's just kind of feels weird. Why do I come up with this very you know, things that are just out there, like they're not original? I feel like for a second I'm like, I'm not that original, or like I'm not that smart, you know. That's what you think first. Then you're like, man, that's just okay for now. And I don't know, just think. For me, it's reading a Pixar studio, um, Pixar studio history, not history, story, I think. And get inspired. That's what I'm being kind of surrounding myself with inspiration, to get myself a motivation to do things. You may say like, oh, discipline. I don't know. You should just start saying about discipline. I'm like, fuck your discipline. I need some motivation in terms of like actually kind of a goal, you know, rather a goal than motivation, you know. And motivation is just like, why do I want to do that goal? That's the thing. Yeah. So I still feel a little bit overwhelmed, but it kind of settles down, and when you actually start doing things, it just gets better, I think. But for now, I'm kind of happy that it turned out to be like, yeah, I came up with an idea and I outlined it, and I think it's very solid. So how do you come up with things? Don't get discouraged. Get inspired. Think, and it will come. Maybe not the first time, maybe not the second one, but it will come. Maybe I'll say tomorrow that this idea is just piece of shit, piece of crap, and I'll scrap it, and then I would have to move on and like, oh yeah, I slipped again and I have to come up with another story. Maybe this one is too technical or too long or too boring, uninteresting, whatever. It may happen. So you don't have to be discouraged, even if that happens. So yeah, I think that's it. Hope you have a good night. I'll have to go to bed. It's 5 in the morning. In the morning.